Hello, English 111 students. This is Dr. Mills welcoming you to week two. I'm here to explain what you'll be doing for this week. I hope you'll be able to watch the video and see the screen and understand exactly what's going on. So I'm going to first go to the modules link, click modules, and then scroll down. My video will be right in here under welcome to week one. If you look at our schedule here, we've finished module A and the first two assignments in module A. We're now at module B here, starting with B3. I did notice just a few minutes ago that these assignments are out of order, B5, B6 on the schedule, but they're all to be done this week anyway, and I think there's no really order you should be able to have to do those. So we'll take a look at that in a second. B3 is a connect assignment, meaning you'll do that in McGraw-Hill. B4 here is a pre-writing assignment. You'll do some writing, you'll save it as a Word document, you'll submit it as a Blackboard assignment. B5 down here is the narrative essay assignment instructions and resources. Again, this is the imagined immersion travel narrative. You're going to write an essay about going to a place you've always wanted to go to and experiencing a culture that you'd always like to go to. So I'd like for you to do a little bit of looking around and see some, actually first think about where you'd like to go, where you've always wanted to go. And then look around and think about some of the things that you'd like to do while you were there. What made you want to go there and experience some kind of culture that goes on in the place that you'd like to go to, another country, somewhere besides the United States. So you'll see the assignment instructions there, some resources, and a couple sample drafts. B6 is a connect assignment. Here it says the writing process, drafting and writing strong paragraphs. And then B7 is a connect assignment as well. The connect assignments, I think I told you in the last video, you're doing all the same number of assignments that are in the regular 16-week course, but I did reduce a lot of the concepts in those connect assignments so they're not taking you so long to do. The thing we're going to do to take a look at those things is click the B module link here. As you can see here, the goals for this module are to learn and practice the writing process and to compose that first major writing assignment. It is a imagined immersion travel narrative. And then you'll come down here and click these. You've already done B1 and B2, so you'll come down to B3, B4, B5, B6, and B7. So we're going to look quickly at what these are. B3 is an assignment. You're going to actually click this folder to contain the link to the assignment and any extra resources you might need to help with the writing process. So if you look at the links that are under the assignment here, you'll see that it's just a drag and drop activity for you to understand about what happens in the writing process. Then these are a couple of videos through YouTube with their transcription here to see what it says for you to look at as well, to look at things like academic voice, who your audience is, and then generating ideas. These videos and all these assignments here really are not tailored to do the imagined immersion travel narrative, but they're to do a narrative, which is all the same as you're telling a story about something. So B3 is this assignment here. If you click the link, you'll start that assignment. I think there's less than 10 concepts there. Like I said, I wanted to make sure that you guys weren't doing too many things. If you look at B4, it's an essay pre-writing. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to think about what you're going to write. You're going to write a little bit. So you're going to begin planning your journey, your dream destination. Then you're going to submit your responses to the following questions and tasks. You're going to choose your narrative topic, and you're going to look at the categories, and then compose a thesis statement. That's a working thesis statement. It can change. This is just something that you're going to look at, writing to plan your draft with, and then you can work on. You can see there's an example thesis here for you to look at. Explain the interest that your audience might have, and then complete two different methods of pre-writing. You can either do listing and brainstorming, questioning, free writing, clustering, outlining, using a graphic organizer, any of those things. Just you have to use two of them. Then you'll submit the responses in the activities here as a Word or a PDF file. If you do something that requires you to write with a pencil or paper or on a whiteboard, take pictures of it and insert it into that document that you submit for that assignment. Again, that's the B4 pre-writing assignment. I'll give you some feedback on this to let you know if you've got a good idea and if you should move forward with it, or how you might change it. So this is for me to see what you're going to do, and then for you to start working on the assignment and get some things going. That was B4. So now we're going to move down to B5. This is the assignment instructions and the resources. It tells you this is the instructions for the essay. There's a sample essay, some sample essays here, 3 different ones that are imagined immersion travel narratives. The grading rubric and the MLA formatting document guides. It says to use these to begin your writing, your revising, and editing of your draft. You don't need to submit your final draft here. You're going to do that much later at the end of B module, or actually next week during the end of B module. But let's take a look at what you've got here. So if you look at the instructions for the essay, the purpose of the essay is here, why you're writing it, the skills and knowledge that you need to have, and then the AI guide. Remember that you may not use AI at any time for this assignment. I want to see what you can write, not what the computer can write, not what AI can write. So again, remember that I will request a meeting if I think that you're using AI guide or AI. I'll request a meeting to meet up with you to talk about the essay, have you read it to me and prove that you did write it. So make sure that you don't do that. I know it's tempting, but please don't do that. Right? I want to see what you have to say. So if you look here, the task is here. You're going to compose a narrative about an imagined journey to somewhere that you want to go, a country that you'd like to go to, you've always wanted to go to. Then follow the steps down here. You're going to return to the pre-writing assignment that I'm going to give you feedback on whenever your time to write the essay. You're going to create an outline based on it. You're going to write a draft, and then you're going to do the things that are here. We will not be doing the peer review for this essay. I'm sorry. That assignment did not work from this module. We'll try to get that for the next one. But then the criteria are down here. Here's the basics. It has to be 750 to 1,000 words. No sources are required here. It will be MLA essay format. You will submit it via Blackboard, and the due date will be again at the end of, I think, the third week. So look here what you have to have. You have to have an introductory paragraph with a thesis. Here are the rules for the thesis. The body paragraphs, there need to be multiple here, not just 3 paragraphs. And then a concluding paragraph that ties the story together. The usage and style guide is here. And then there's some example essays that you can look at. If you open this folder, you're going to see that there's one about Iceland. It's here, not in Word document, but in just HTML. But that same document is here in Word if you'd like to see it. There's also one about Italy and Munich, Germany that you can look at as well. I want to state that they do something to make a narrative interesting. If you think about what makes a narrative interesting is that you always want to know if the character in the story is going to get over some kind of conflict. That's what makes the best narrative. So I'm going to ask you to try to think of some conflict that might happen in this imagined immersion. What might happen? What problems might you have on a journey? Think about the things that you might have go wrong if you were to go on a trip. Don't get too drastic with it. I don't want to read any essays about people being abducted by the Colombian cartel when they're in South America. Nothing like that. Just some things that, getting lost, not being able to understand directions, confusing cultural traditions, breaking a traditional cultural tradition moray over there, something like that. So look at these example essays to understand what I'm expecting you to do for that essay. The MLA formatting information is here. There's a guide and checklist here. That's a PDF document. You can slide through this. There's 25 slides that show you how to format your essay. There's a template here you can use. Also a sample paper in MLA. It's a Word document. And then a couple videos for you to look at. One that's about basic formatting of Word, and then another one that's basic formatting of Word online. So if you're using the actual application Word, you have it downloaded to your computer, this is what that guide's for. And here's the guide to use Word online if you're using your student account and you go through the portal. All right. So that's that information. Below that is the rubric. This is the thing that I will grade the essay by. Whenever you get your essay back, you'll see that these are the things that I will use to grade your essay. You'll see that there are certain categories. Is the essay organized? Did they use good grammar, punctuation, and so on? There's certain points allotted for each one of those. Take a look at that document to understand better how the essay will be graded. So that is the B5 essay assignment instructions and folder. So what you'll need to do when you get to that assignment just is click that you looked at it. That's a mark reviewed type of thing. There's nothing to turn in for B5. B6 is a connect essay that talks about the writing process. If you look at this essay, this module here, you'll see that there's a video for you to watch. A couple videos, sorry, 3 of them to be in fact. And then there's a paragraph development PowerPoint, I think, that's linked to a Google Slides presentation that I did for my live seated classes. Take a look at that if you want. That's just for you to look at. There's an assignment at the end or activity. Don't worry about that. That's what I do in my own seated classes. Here's the B6 assignment. You do that in that folder there. Looking back, the last thing for week 2 is B7. That's the writing process, revising, and paragraph unity. You'll see there's a couple other videos for you to look at here, or one, sorry, and a handout for you to look at about paragraph unity. Then the B7 assignment is located here. Those are the activities for week 2. Make sure that you complete them before the end of week 2, which is Sunday, the 1st of June. If there are any questions or you have any problems, feel free to reach out to me via our email address. If you need to, we can meet via Teams to talk about something on the phone. We can go back and forth on email to discuss some things if you'd like to. But that's the information I have for you this week. Good luck with everything that you have to do. I hope you have a great week.